Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Smith, and I'm going to be your presenter for today. So I kind of want to have like a very interactive class because this is psychology, this is mental health. I'm not here to pick your brains. We're here to work together as a team to make things work, and so we're going to have a lot of practical exercises, throughout the whole session. So I want everybody to feel comfortable, relaxed, and present to actually enjoy this session. So before we start, I want every one of us, I can see some of us in the videos. I just want us to ensure that you're sitting in a very relaxed position, right? Ensure you're sitting upright. Okay, so I have to adjust. So ensure you're sitting upright but still relaxed, right? Because we're focused on mindfulness today. And so you need to just kind of put your body in that position to receive and feel what we want you to feel today. So I hope everyone else is doing that. Just kind of make sure that your sitting position is relaxed, you feel real comfortable, and then we can start. You can just have some reactions if you're already doing that, so I know that everyone is doing something. I think Labad's kind of like get himself comfortable, so that's good.
Do you want them to write into chat anything?
Yeah, they could put it in their chat. You can just say, I feel comfortable now, I'm more relaxed now. Or you just, some reaction. So I know that, you know, they understood what I said and they're doing it. Okay. Okay. So I hope we're all relaxed and ready to go. So today we're going to look at something really, really interesting, which is psychology. As a psychologist myself, whenever I tell anyone what I do, the first thing is always, "Oh, you're gonna pick my brain, or you're gonna pick my brain. Don't pick my brain. You know what I'm thinking." It's very, very interesting. With psychology, you get to connect your feelings with your thoughts, and you get to see how it helps you to interact with the world around you to be your best self. So today we're looking at mindfulness and spirituality for better mental health. And this is kind of like a direct way to kind of manage your mental health and cope with the high stress world. So I know a lot of the students here are studying different things in different locations, and I mean, we live on Earth, so we know that there's a lot of stress here. And so sometimes we don't really know how to manage our feelings, how to feel better when we feel overwhelmed. So we're going to be looking at how to use mindfulness and spirituality to improve our mental health. So before I go into the core, I just want to introduce myself formally and have like a bunch of you guys introduce yourselves to me. So you can just put it in the chat box. Just tell me your name, what you do, what you're studying, where you're located. See it as you're meeting me in person and you want to kind of help me get to know you better. So please put it in the chat box. Just something about you, who you are, where you're from, so we can get to know you. Oh, lovely. Fabian says, yes, I'm comfortable. Someone else says, I'm a psychoanalyst. Interesting. That's really, really interesting. Okay. So, oh, we have someone's hand raised. Sumtum. Okay, you can just go ahead. Hi, can you just speak?
Yes, well done. Good afternoon. Good afternoon for
Hi.
everyone. Are you here?
Good afternoon.
Yes, because in this moment in our country we are at 15:10 p.m.
Oh,
According to
okay.
your proposal, my name is Sundunduganda. I come from Guinea-Bissau. I'm working
Lovely.
in the Ministry of the Public Health, in the departments of the health community, just 13 years. In these moments, I'm studying the public health and the nutrition at the IU, Atlantic International University. My wish in this moment is to finish that course after to change for airways. Thank you very much.
Lovely, lovely. Nice to meet you soon so much.
Glad to
And
meet
lovely,
you.
that was a
Glad
lovely
to meet.
introduction. Clinical psychology from Uganda. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to
Me
meet
too.
you, Columbus. Um, so Jean says, "Hi, I'm Francois Jean Ronald from Haiti. I am a pastor and a professor. Lovely, lovely to meet you." We have Bear Rose from Iran. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet everyone. Great to have you all here. Okay, so let's just run along. We have a lot to talk about. Okay. So, when you talk about mindfulness, before we go into that, it kind of sounds abstract. Like, what does it even mean? What do you mean by being mindful? Is it not just a waste of time and what therapists say so you can just, like a task to do and you're not really connected to it? And so that is what we're going to be talking about today, trying to help you understand what mindfulness is and how you can integrate it into your daily tasks and habits to improve your mental health. So let's start with this exercise, right? Let's do a one word check-in. And as we're doing this, I want us to kind of take note of the kind of exercises we're doing. So in your real life, when you feel stressed, overwhelmed, and you just need to relax, you can actually do this, little exercises, and you're going to see instant results, right? So let's do a one word check-in. And I want anyone to volunteer and just speak because it's like a practical thing, right? So if you could describe how you feel right now in one word, what would that be? Think about the word, right? Stressed, curious, tired, hopeful, excited. And then, can anyone tell us if you were asked to pick one word that describes how you feel right now? You can put it in the chat, right? What we want to do is we want to bring our attention, our focus to right now, how we're feeling right now in the present. We have Mr. Ismail. Yes, you can speak if you want to share.
Okay.
Mr. Ismail, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead, please.
thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sussex. Yeah, um, I feel excited. Yeah.
Lovely. I feel excited too. Thank
And
you for sharing. Does anyone else want to go? Or is anyone putting anything in the chat? Oh, someone else says I'm really excited. Looking forward to this class today. I'm re- real very quiet. Oh, from Soon Soon. Right. So this little exercise might just seem really little and it might not really mean anything to you. But as we're learning about mindfulness, For you to be able to identify excitement as how you feel now means that you are able to disconnect yourself from the multitude of thoughts and feelings that you're having to focus on that one feeling, and then you're able to connect to that feeling, and then you say you're excited. Someone says you're overwhelmed. Being able to feel overwhelmed and identify that you feel overwhelmed right now, you're able to take a pause, with all the thinking, all the chaotic thoughts and rumbling feelings that you're having right now, to focus on that one emotion, that one feeling that you have. That is mindfulness. Mindfulness means basically you're able to zone out of the many chaotic things going on right now to focus on one thing right now, to focus on how you feel right now. So, it's a very practical thing that you can do whenever you feel stressed, and we're going to have more exercises as we move forward. So let me just like give a rundown of what is clinical psychology. Is it what we really think it is, being able to read one's mind and all of that? So clinical psychology is basically a scientific study, and it is the practical application of the understanding, preventing, and treating psychological distress. When we talk about psychological distress, we talk about our emotions, anxiety, things like depression, sadness, low mood, and all of that, and basically helps us to promote personal development and improve our well-being. Clinical psychology is the scientific application of everything we understand about how how our emotions work, how our feelings work, and it kind of, the more we know about it, the more we understand how everything works, the more equipped we are to better manage our thoughts, to better manage our emotions. Now you know that whenever you're having a bad day and you're feeling overwhelmed, you can do like a quick mindfulness exercise and try to focus on one thing right now. And you're able to zone out, and you're able to feel relief from, how you feel. So clinical psychology, basically in therapy, we have a lot of, techniques we use to, target people's thoughts, your feelings, and basically shape behavior. When we talk about the biopsychosocial model, it just lets us know that our struggles are not just mental. There's like a play of other factors, the biological factor, which is basically how our brain works, chemistry and our body work, psychological factor, which is where our thoughts and our emotions work, and then there's also social factors like our relationships, our environment, our job, our lifestyle. These factors come together to kind of affect our mental health right now. So let's look at self-awareness. Self-awareness or awareness in your emotions is basically the bedrock of mental health. There's no therapist you go to, or whenever you're speaking about mental health, that you wouldn't talk about becoming aware. How would you know how best to take care of your mental health if you are not even aware or knowledgeable of what exactly is going on with your body? How will you be able to identify that currently you feel triggered and that is why you're acting this way? you know how would you be able to do that if you don't have some sort of awareness? You are not able to identify these emotions. You need that knowledge. So when you understand what you're feeling and why you're feeling this way, you kind of, it empowers you, right? So picture a situation where maybe someone is trying to trigger you, and the person is saying some weird stuff and acting some kind of way, and this person is here to trigger you, and this person kind of deserves it, right? Now, the most natural reaction is when that person does trigger you, you react and you're justified because the person was out to get you. But then, as we learn more about our mental health, you're able to understand that your body is feeling angry. Somebody, please. I don't know who's. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me well now. You can just give a thumbs up to let me know if everyone can hear me clearly. Okay, thank you, Alvin, Mr. Ismail. So I hope we're following. Basically, when you're able to fully become aware of what your emotions are, everything is not anger. You know, there's this, I kind of refer to it as a misconception when they say, or when certain people say things like men are not emotional, or I am not emotional, or I am stoic. And when you ask them, is, just the only emotion they are proud of is anger. And I mean, they are, because they don't break down and because they're able to remain strong and repress how they feel, they find strength in that, right? But then it causes a lot of problems. You can see how it affects them. You can see the psychological distress they go through trying to manage their emotions. I say, why do you have to go through that? Why don't you, become proactive and try to learn about your mental health, your feelings as a man, as a woman, right? There's no shame in feeling your feelings. The more you understand how you think and how you feel, the better your life gets for you. That's basically the gist about it. You're able to cope better because you know that right now you're just feeling angry. You understand why you're angry, and you're able to control your anger right now. You feel strong, right? You're no longer, you don't just react abruptly. You now have like a more calculated strategy of reacting when you feel this way, when you feel this way. You're able to cope with issues and bounce back. You have better resilience, and you have better empathy for others because you understand that this person is crashing out right now because they're not able to control their emotions. If only they can do xyz just the way I have been doing, they will feel better, and they would react better. Basically, awareness creates choice. When you notice a feeling before it becomes an action, you're able to reclaim your power. Your body no longer dictates how you feel or what you feel. Now you're able to say, hey, I know I feel triggered right now, but I'm choosing to react this way, which makes me the bigger person, and this is my strategy, and this is my winning strategy. And you win, right? Okay. Let me just kind of rush through. So now let's talk about mindfulness, right? Like I said earlier, mindfulness basically means being present. So as we go on, if you have questions, you can put them in the chats. I will take questions in the chats, or then after my presentation, we can take questions. But I want to be sure everyone is following before I move forward. So you can give me a thumbs up if you're following. Let me know if you're enjoying the class. Let me know if it's making sense. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. So let's talk about mindfulness. There's something about knowing even the smallest thing about how to manage your mental health. It kind of makes you feel, you know like you can take care of people. See it as, one moment you learn one thing about your mental health, about how to manage your emotions, and then you no longer behave a kind of way, you no longer crash out a kind of way, little things no longer get to you, you feel stronger and you feel more confident in yourself, right? And the more you learn these things and practice them, the more confidence you get in yourself and you're able to manage your emotions, right? So let's look at mindfulness. Mindfulness basically is paying attention to the present moment, bringing your mind to what is happening now, not letting your mind, easily drift up or drown in the load of thoughts. Oh, there's this one going on, this one happening. What if this? What if this? There's a lot going on. You can feel the strain. You can feel the strain, the mental strain, and you can feel the strain it has on your body, especially with anxiety. One easy sign is chest pain. You're thinking so much, and then you start having chest pain, and then you have to start, when you have like those moments, some people even go on to have panic attacks, right? So this is how much your thoughts, something that is not quantifiable, something that is, in your head, can really affect you physically. So basically, mindfulness is focusing on right now, being able to kind of zone out, remove yourself from the overwhelming thoughts and focus on one thing happening right now, right? So you focus on right now with purpose, knowing fully well that the reason why you're doing this is not to run away, but to be able to regain your power over your thoughts and without judgment, right? Especially those of us from the African background, we know when it comes to thinking about important things and making important decisions, it's something that we allow the weight of that to crush us, and we believe that, when you're able to manage all the stress without even asking for help, and you make a good decision or it works out, you find your satisfaction there. So you allow that heavy strain weigh down on you, hoping that, success in your task or whatever you're trying to do will compensate you, right? Life doesn't have to work like that. You can enjoy every moment, every step of your life. You don't have to wait to reward yourself with happiness out of success. What if you don't succeed? You know, what if it doesn't go the way you expect? Do you keep beating yourself up until you finally get it, right? What happens to the time that you're spending, wallowing in the pain and the thought and judging yourself with the guilt and everything, right? So we're going to learn how to work with that. This is also connected with our spirituality, because our mental health is basically in our soul. Once you're worried, once you're sad, it affects your soul, it affects your energy, right? And all of this is also backed by neuroscience. Brain imaging shows that, when you practice mindfulness, regularly, it kind of reshapes your brain's emotion centers, and it helps you to be able to regulate how you feel. you know just here are some benefits of practicing mindfulness. I want us to go to the tasks. And so we have our first task. So I want everyone to be fully present here right now, right? Try to, like I said before we started, make sure that you're in a comfortable position, you're well seated, you're relaxed, there's no tension on your back. You can place your feet on the floor or on the rug or on the carpets, to kind of root yourself and help yourself feel grounded, right? So we're going to have a mindfulness exercise, just something you can do, like a quick fix whenever you feel overwhelmed and, anxious and sad. Are we ready to go? Please give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. I want to read the instructions. I hope we're all here. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's have this mindfulness practice, right? First of all, ensure that you're seated comfortably, your body is relaxed. There is no right or wrong way to do this. I just need you to be able to bring your focus to right here and right now. All of us on this Zoom call, bring your focus right here. Remove yourself from the mental tasks and the thoughts and the cycles, and bring yourself to this Zoom call right here. Are we all here? I can see some of us getting ready. Okay, so let your eyes close or soften your gaze. Like I said, I need you to feel as relaxed as possible. Taking a deep breath, slow deep breath, breathing and breathe out. We'll do this 3 times before we go to the next one. Are we here? Samuel, I can see that you're leaning down. Can you um remember, you need to be in a comfortable position to allow your body relax. We're here to relax. We're here to free our body of the stress of the entire day. I don't know if some of you feel like some pains in your back, in your lower back, in your chest, in your shoulders, after a long day of being on your feet or working, right? There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of worries, a lot of things happened during the day. How do you consolidate that? What do you do with all of those feelings? You just wait till you sleep and then you wake up the next day and repeat the whole thing. All that stress will tell on you. So let's do something that will help you relax. You can do everything. So let's take in our deep breaths. Deep breath in and breathe out. So when you're taking in your deep breath, allow your body to move, right? Allow your body to move. Taking a deep breath and breathe in and then breathe out. Kind of like losing your body. The fun part is you can do this anywhere and nobody would even know what you're doing. It's your personal, fix, right? Mr. Ismail, I can see that you're leaning on your table. I need you to relax. I need you to breathe in. So can we do it together? Just feel relaxed, okay? Let's breathe in together. Breathe in. Allow your body move. Raise your shoulders and then breathe out. Okay, let's breathe in again and then breathe out. If you're doing this correctly, you will notice that you're already feeling some kind of relief, right? Some tension in your body is already coming down. So basically, loosen up your body. Breathe in, breathe out. Great. People are feeling that way, right? So, like I said, this is a personal fix. You don't need to care if anybody's looking at you, and nobody might even be noticing you, right? This is for yourself. So, allow yourself relax, allow yourself breathe, allow yourself calm down. Okay. So, as you're breathing, I want you to kind of put yourself in a place that is relaxing for you. It could be with a person, could be with a loved one. It could be in a beautiful place, like in a garden. It could be in your home. You might be at the office, but your home is your resting place.